You mentioned the penalties, and you've been trending in the right direction the previous few games. Do you just chalk that up to that being a particularly chippy game? And any overriding concerns that the positive momentum was lost in that regard?
No, I wouldn't say any. I wouldn't say it was lost. Again, I mean, we were all there. We saw the game, and you have those things. I think it's one of those games where another teaching moment for you. You can teach your guys just how to respond to things. You heard me say after the game, our guys got to be tough enough to walk away, and that's tough to do, But we got to equate that to being selfish. When we say that, you can't be mentally weak and retaliate with a guy because now we get a personal foul, they extend the drive and keep going, and that hurts the team more than anything. So you try to learn from that, and I thought our guys did better in the second half. We got it under control and things were better. So that's one of those things, again, teaching moment. The ones that really get you is the false starts and like I say, personal foul, because those are all things that you can control. So those are the ones we got to make sure that we correct and not allow to happen. The one thing I will say, the positive is on our football team, I thought, especially on offense, we overcame some of those penalties that hurt us. And a lot of times you don't get that. So whenever you do shoot yourself in the foot, you got to be good enough to respond and get yourself going again. And our guys were able to do that.
Willie, I think this will be the first time we have two black head coaches in the Civil War. Is that significant to you? What do you feel like that means?
I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. I don't even have an answer for you. You caught me off guard with that one. That would just hit me. Two ball coaches that I hope this coach over here wins. Let's kind of look at it. It's Oregon versus Oregon State, and two teams that don't like each other. And we got that bitter taste in our mouth that we had in our mouth for an entire year. And I don't think our guys want that taste anymore. So you got to come out ready to roll, and you can throw the records out in a ball game like this. You got to come ready to play, and the best team, the team that plays the best, be the team that wins.
For you, have you seen any change in the opportunities for young black coaches since the time you got into the business till now?
Yeah, you seen more get hired. I know the one thing that helped me throughout it all, you always wonder why not many African Americans or minorities get hired. And the one thing that helped me is an athletic director coming in at our minority coaching seminar that we went to, and he was talking about actually that the AD was Ward Manuel, AD at Michigan. But he said it's not that minorities can't be a head coach. A lot of times they lose the job on interviews, and those things you take for granted, and so I made sure that I was always prepare myself for that moment to when you get in front of them to make sure you do a good job. And so that's the one thing that helped me. And again, I'm a true believer in that. It's not that we can't. You got to be ready when that time comes and take advantage of it. So and that's part of planning. If that's something you want to be.
Could you talk about the term War Daddy a little bit? I know you called Royce it after the game, and you called Henry War Daddy a couple weeks ago. Just where does that term come from, and when did you kind of first start using it?
I can't remember. Probably at Western Kentucky or something. I think I heard another coach say it about one of the old linemen, and kind of one of those things that just stuck with you. You know what it's supposed to look like when you see it. It's hard. It's not hard to describe. You just see those guys that just go all out all the time, leave everything on the field, and try to get after the guy in front of him every time he have an opportunity to do that. And a guy that plays through pain and do everything he can to help his football team. A guy that's totally committed to the football team and helping them. I guess that's a better way to put it than what I did say before.
You had Royce, Hollins, and Winston as players of the game. Obviously, we know what Royce did, but what did you like about Hollins and Winston to earn those awards?
Well, I like with Hollins, just how he's been coming along over the last couple games. He's sort of like the rest of our guys, and that's what's good to see. Our guys are improving throughout these games, and he's been improving tremendously in these last couple ball games and this ball games, being physical the way we needed him to, and discipline and trying to contain Khalil was big. You know, he was really consistent in what we needed him to do in that ball game, and then same thing with Lamar. Ever since I want to say the UCLA game, he's just been totally different when it comes to communicating, just playing with fanatical effort, making plays out there. He's been stepping his game up, and I'm talking defensively, and then special team wise, he was all over the place. So Lamar is one of those guys that's taking advantage of his opportunity, you know, and he loves to compete. He reminds me of Troy Dye. When it comes time to compete, he's ready to roll, whether it's practice or in the game, and you love guys like that.
The guys referred to it a little bit before the Washington game too, but the way you've reminded them of some of those results from last year that have left the bad taste, what steps have you taken to kind of keep that fresh and use that as a way to motivate the team over the course of the year?
Oh, you're talking about the lowlights, right? That we show. We showed them the lowlights. Yeah. We just show them and remind them what that looked like, and just try to remind them that taste that they had in their mouth. I know all of them was ticked off when I got here. You hear everybody was ticked off, not just our players, but everybody. And considering it had been so long since that happened, that really just stays with you, you know. And unless you want that taste to continue, you better do something about it. And we got an opportunity to do something here in our in Austin Stadium and send these seniors out the right way. Their last game in Austin Stadium. So we owe it to all these guys to make sure we're preparing the way that we need to in order to go out and play the way we need to.